We are here still in Otavi at the Evangelical Lutheran Church in the Republic of Namibia. We are joined by the pastor. We have a family member of the late Hage here, and we also managed to get a childhood friend of the late president. We are first going to speak to the pastor to just tell us how was the vibe, how was the atmosphere whenever the late president will visit the Bethesda parish. Pastor, thank you so much. Please tell us how was it when the when the president will visit the church? And just a quick question: will he make an announcement to say on Sunday I'll be visiting, or he will just show up?
Thank you for this opportunity. Good morning, first of all. Before coming in, let me say, each tree is known by its fruit. So, it have been that the president needs to come, especially most of the time when there were funerals of the relatives, he would show up. But in advance, sometimes it will be announced. At some stages, it was not that case. But at all times, if you have met with him, he was just the same. I can recall the first time it was with a funeral of one of the relatives. That was a day for me because I was that much on my nerves. Because as someone who have been taught that youngsters are not talking to elderly ones, when it was said the president is coming, I don't know how I even prepared the sermon. For that specific sermon, it took about 3 people to be translators because maybe I speak a kind of English that I also couldn't understand by then. But after that, he told me that I should relax, and it's also not necessary that I must prepare a sermon in English. I can use any language that I prefer to do so. So from the second time, I was at ease with him. But as I observed him, he was someone, just a down-to-the-ground person. If he was here, one couldn't say that the president is here unless you see the escort. But he was somebody very down to the ground.
Now, Pastor, when the late president will visit the church, will he sit at one specific spot or will he move around?
To the protocols, he had to sit at one spot. But even during the course, sometimes he would move out and in. So, but due to the protocol, he was assigned to one place. But he didn't mind where he was seated. But I can recall the third seat in front. That was where he usually sits when it was funerals and when he was here. And speaking of singing, that fourth voice, you could hear it. There is someone in here. So he was a man of singing. And if it comes to dancing, he didn't stand back for any man that was there. He would, if the need is there, he would dance like the other parishioners. So I got so acquainted with him that later I didn't also talk about the president anymore. I was called him Ome Hage or Ome, and he also accepted that.
The president of Namibia, it's my own uncle. It's my mother's brother, the same father's child.
Okay, and you have attended church with him at the same time, right? How was the energy in church?
When we start to meet, we meet always at the farm for the family days. And every time when he was called us, he was doing for us the good things and talk about just good things. He was the man that is just smiling, and he was the man that was like jokes. If I not mistake, remember for 2020, I was having my house problem, and immediately he renovated for me my house, and he was do for us everything. When we were needed for him, he was just called us. He was telling us. He was do for us what we needed. And it's very hard to say to him, goodbye, our uncle, because he put for us a big space. And